Hello again, and welcome back to our time-sticking YouTube channel. My name is Jake, as per usual, and today we're going to be talking about, well, how much watch companies spend on their advertisements. So, if you stick with us through our intro, we're going to be picking out a few key brands that have a pretty fine budget for selling you on their watches. Now, branding is a pretty key element in any successful business, including watchmaking. This is especially true in an age flooded with automatic ads on social media, television ads across multiple streaming platforms, and even ads on smart tech timepieces. Through the centuries, everything from print media to digital billboarding has been smartly utilized by the world's most successful watch brands. Not unlike today, even in the heyday of print media, those that invested well into their name were able to push themselves to the front of the line in terms of brand recognition. What was spent on advertising back then looks like mere pennies in modern times. Millions, if not billions of dollars are spent yearly in the current watch industry, promoting everything from new startup companies to ages-old Swiss brands. So how much are some of these companies spending? We here at Time Sticking decided to take a quick look into the bigger spenders in the market today and the current trends in marketing generally. Some of today's figures are going to come from both luxury brands and budget brands alike. Rolex took the top spot last year, 2019, for top spender in advertising. This should come as no surprise considering their brand's mass popularity and continued name recognition. Spending around $56 million, Rolex has, once again, outdone themselves and everyone else. Despite the fact that Rolex has spent their way into the top spot, over 70 brands spent at least $1 million in 2019 on ads. This includes brands like Seiko and Casio. Casio themselves spent $3.64 million, while Seiko, with a new penchant for building luxury pieces, got closer to the top 10 spenders globally. Where most affordability brands have historically focused on television and internet spending, the market is starting to look a little more blended in terms of where money is being spent. Over the last 5 years, many luxury brands have shifted towards spending upwards of 50% of their overall marketing budgets in online advertising. This is no small trend considering that many companies still lean heavily on advertising via international sporting events and through traditional media channels. With email marketing and online influencer culture changing the atmosphere of advertising generally, the tide is starting to turn toward a larger online presence, even for the likes of Rolex. Celebrity endorsements have really created a crossover, especially online, in terms of marketing between both luxury watches and other types of wristwatches. With brands like Richard Mille or IWC picking World Open tennis players, NFL players, race car drivers, and film stars to align with their watches, whatever those stars do with their watches online becomes a way to get a name trending and customer spending. Before the age of the internet, investing in handing someone, let's say, an $80,000 watch could have a return far higher than the value of said watch. That being said, as the popularity of online content creators and social media climbs, so do the numbers investing in those means of branding. This aspect of promoting business is experiencing a relative boom with all things considered. Spending far less than any of the previous brands mentioned, surf watch brand Freestyle has taken to a very inexpensive online sales strategy. Their use of their own customers as influencers has established a marketing style that's more democratic in its design. With the right amount of followers, anyone can apply to join their growing team of influential brand ambassadors. This has made everyday people more involved in advertising, which very likely adds to the appeal and relatability of certain timepieces. With other non-watchmaking brands cashing in on influencer culture, even a brand like Rolex, who was the top spender, might not be too far behind in trying this strategy. That being said, when any brand has an excess of $20+ million reserved for advertising, it's safe to say that they have some wiggle room in doing things the old-fashioned way. No matter where a watch brand is seen, there's always going to be some air of value in how it's presented, even on a psychological level. The name Vacheron Constantin is going to come across a lot differently than Timex, for example. Last year, millions were spent on just race car events alone, which eventually stream online, by luxury brands, a place where they're almost expected to be seen. Traditionally important avenues for advertising aren't losing their luster, but even those events are steering their way toward digital avenues. Exclusivity, as it goes, isn't always the most appealing way to sell something. especially in an age where people can curate and advertise how their own lives appear online. In an effort to stay on top of global trends, watch brands with the capital are paying attention to where high traffic areas are going to land them the best recognition, regardless of price tag. CFOs involved with Casio and Seiko, all the way to Rolex and Cartier, are balancing top dollar budgets toward the most cost-effective ways to advertise. As 2020 approaches, it will be interesting to see how well all brands tackle their online presence. With smaller companies like Kickstarter brands advertising exclusively online, now is probably the most diverse time in watchmaking history to experience branding. So keep eyes peeled for appealing styles and builds from a variety of watchmakers. Just don't get too overwhelmed with how many quality choices are available. All price tags accounted for. Though there's a variety of budgets out there in the watch world, every company is doing their best to move online while still taking over traditional channels. So, what are your thoughts on watch advertisements? Do you have a particular one that you've enjoyed in the past? Let us know in the comment section below. We're always happy to hear feedback about our subject of the day.
Wow, thanks again for watching our YouTube video today. If you've really enjoyed it, we actually have a couple more videos available just right here and right there. On top of that, our entire channel is at your disposal, and if you subscribe by clicking the link that's right next to me, we'll give you the latest update on our most recent videos. So, thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you again.